Hey, I'm Mike with Vanquish MMA and Jiu-Jitsu. This is my wife, Carrie. I'm a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, and I'm going to show you the difference between joint locks and chokeholds in a self-defense situation and which ones are the best. So, for a chokehold, the way that it works is you're constricting the carotid arteries, which restricts blood flow to the brain, puts somebody to sleep. It doesn't have to do with how long you can hold your breath. It has to do with cutting off oxygen through the blood to the brain. So you go to sleep in about 6 to 10 seconds. If you were to hold that, put somebody to sleep, and let it go, they're going to wake up within 10 to 30 seconds, depending on how long you held it. So that might be an opportunity to run away, or if it's a worse situation where you're stuck somewhere and you have no other choice, if you hold that for 45 seconds to a minute, that's enough blood flow stoppage to the brain to potentially end somebody or to give them permanent brain damage, and they're not going to be waking up very quickly either way. So those are the ways that a choke works and the dynamics of it. And the way that most joint locks work is if you either extend a joint or you twist a joint until something breaks or snaps, whether it be a tendon or a bone. The problem with joint locks, like a situation with my wife here, if she tries to joint lock me, like say she goes for an arm bar, you throw this leg over the head, boom. I am pretty strong, and so she's going to have a really big fight on her hands trying to rip that arm back. Even if I don't know how to defend, I could be trying to punch her and do all these different things, and she's going to have to outstrength my arm. So she's going to have to be stronger than that. It only takes 6 pounds of pressure to cut off somebody's carotid arteries, but depending on that person, it might take 100 pounds of pressure to rip their arm out straight, and then another 20 to break it. So it takes a lot more effort and pressure to break something. It's a lot harder to do when you're not inside your weight class, like in a jiu-jitsu tournament. So if you're the smaller person, I feel like chokes are much more effective, and as well as they're less complicated. For the most part, you wrap something around a neck and you try to cut off blood flow. That's how all chokes work. There's different techniques of how to grab them and all that, but it's not as important when you're going against somebody who's not a high-level jiu-jitsu person. But with joint locks, you have to know the exact way to clamp and hold and different things. And a lot of joint locks, like an arm bar and different things, somebody could bite you on the back of the thigh and things like that. When you single out underneath their neck, it's really hard for them to get their mouth on you at all and bite you. So chokeholds are usually a better option than a joint lock in a self-defense situation. So simple chokehold scenario here. For her to finish a chokehold on me, she wants to wrap around my neck. Okay, and in a real situation, I'm a little tall for her here too. So what she'd want to do is grab a hold of me and pull me down to the side, tip me over. So let's get this way a little bit. So once she pulls me over, she's going to have a lot easier time choking me. She can reach better. But what she wants to do is put this arm around the neck, make sure that this one goes on the bicep, and then that one behind the head. Boom, just like that. So she can squeeze there. Go ahead and squeeze. About another second or two from there, and I'm going to start to go to sleep. And like I said, you hold it longer, and that's going to be the end of it. So that's how you secure a simple chokehold. Again, it's around the neck. Go ahead again. Around the neck, onto your own bicep, and behind the head. This hand behind the head is pushing the head forward. This arm right here should be about elbow underneath the chin like this. She squeezes tight. That closes off carotid arteries, puts me to sleep. Another way you can do it, maybe do it with this arm around my neck, is a gable grip, okay? So she grabs with her hands like this. You want the hand that's around the neck always to be the one on top of the gable grip like this. If she flips it over and puts it on the bottom and tries to pull that, I can rip her grip apart. If she puts it on the top, I can't rip her grip apart. So she does that and just pulls it through and then uses her face on my head, and that'll choke me out too. So it's very simple. For the most part, in a self-defense situation, it could be the strap to your purse. It could be anything that you're holding. It could be their hoodie. It could be their clothes. It could be something that they have on, a tie. It could be if they tied your hands together and you wrap that around their neck. You can choke them with almost anything, but what you need to do is think about being like an anaconda. Close off, squeeze it, and don't stop until they stop moving. And whether, like I said, if it's a situation where you're trying to choke somebody out who's being belligerent and crazy and you let them go and you walk away and they wake up, or it's a situation where you hold it as long as you need to stop that threat for good. Either which way, chokeholds are better than joint locks in self-defense situations. So.